I've sprayed a little primer on the panel using my primer filler, and the way you want to do that is you just want to go, you know, left to right or whatever, and just even stroke. Make sure that your panels are sanded. Now the reason that we sand the panels is only one reason. It causes scratches, and these scratches are what allow the primer or the paint to grab hold and stick to the panel. Without that, the paint could peel off. It was too smooth. So I put some primer on, and then I put some more spot putty on. I used my finger, and see, slowly, if the way a bodyman usually does it is he'll go and find the dent. He goes at the center of the dent. He pulls it out by using a slide hammer, which is a drill hole and a weight. Pulls it out most of the way, and then what we do is we put Bondo into the dent, and then we put primer on it, and then we use spot putty to refine the primer lines. And you can see we're just trying to get a smooth surface. Now what I'm going to do now is that these panels are so old, I have a crack in the panel. You can't, well, I guess you can't see it if you look really close. Right underneath that little hole, there's a little crack about an inch long going straight down. It goes, let's see if I get it in the light, it goes right there to the edge of the panel, and then underneath it goes to the other side. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. I get this in the light. Yeah, you can see it. You can see the little pink line right there. Well, that crack's not going to go away. So I'm going to have to fix that. What I'll have to fix that, I'm going to use some JB Weld. Same stuff that I used back here. There's two kinds of JB Weld that you can use. JB Weld is a chemical epoxy. You have the, it's just a two-part epoxy. What that means is that you use 50% of one, 50% of the other, mix it up, there's a chemical reaction, and it hardens really, really well. It's waterproof, it's great for static, or suppose that this was a sheet of metal, it had a hole in it, it would be great for that sheet of metal. But if you can see how this door is bent right here, due to water, it doesn't have a lot of stress capabilities, which means if it's put under any kind of cracking or metal fatigue pressure, it will crack. But that's just one of the downfalls of it. This is the quick hardener, the quick JB Weld. The other takes 24 hours, this takes about 5 minutes. If you use a hairdryer, or if you have it out in the sun, it will dry faster. I'm going to take my little Dremel right here with this carbide bit right here, and I'm going to go on the back here. It's kind of hard to do this with one hand, and I'll clear off an area right around here, and I'll put that JB Weld in right in here, right along here, just like I've done in a few other places. I JB welded this up. I've JB welded, you can see where I've used ties right here, and I've done it. It works pretty good, you know, certain amount of areas. The other spot I'm going to use it at, and I don't know how this happened. I think my wife did it. But there's a small crack right on the edge of this headlight cover, and you can see where I have the blue, it goes down to purple, and then it goes down to the dark gray I had about 7 or 8 years ago. That crack goes all the way through to the other side. You can also see where the paint has come off right there. This is a good lesson to learn about paint and stress, and if you get in an accident or you're going to buy a used car, open up the hood, open up all these places, and look for broken paint. If you see broken paint like this, it means it's been in a wreck. They may fix the outside, but they can't fix everything. And I'm going to do the same thing here. Take my little bit, and I'm going to rough up this whole area, and then put the weld on it. You want to take your 400 grit. 400 grit, I would say, is the least, or I mean, the most grittiest grit that you want to get to use on your panels. It cuts so much faster and deeper than dry sandpaper that you have to use a lot of filler to fill it up. And a lot of cars, when I was in school 30 years ago, we used 400 grit dry paper for the final finish sanding. Now they use like 600.